What's up guys, Caleb here. So is it just me or is this thing really satisfying to look at? This image is generated from a new experiment called the RandomWalkNFT, and in today's video we're going to be looking at what it is and how it works. So before I jump into the RandomWalk experiment, you may be asking, Caleb, what is an NFT? Well, to put it simply, NFTs or non-fungible tokens are unique units of data stored on a digital ledger, otherwise known as a blockchain, which is the same technology that cryptocurrency uses. NFTs can be associated with things such as photos, videos, audio, artwork, and other digital assets. An NFT essentially functions as a digital fingerprint and represents proof of ownership of one of these assets. Even though in most cases this asset can be copied and distributed, the NFT cannot and nobody can tamper with it. It's kind of like having digital bragging rights. On top of this, an NFT also stores the properties of the asset as well as a complete history of ownership and previous buying prices. Really anything that's unique or needs proof of ownership can be an NFT, so like domain names for a website, concert tickets, rare video game items, real estate, and more. For example, the CEO of Twitter sold his very first tweet as an NFT for almost $3 million. Now, the price of an NFT is determined by supply and demand, or whatever someone is willing to pay for it, and this can range from pennies all the way to millions of dollars. So why is the dad of the guy who created Ethereum tweeting about this NFT? Let's find out. So this project called RandomWalk is a site where you can mint NFTs assigned to a one-of-a-kind image, like the one I showed you in the very beginning of this video. These images are minted on the Ethereum Layer 2 Arbitrum blockchain. That was a mouthful. And this is the first NFT project to actually launch here. Quick note here, Arbitrum is just one of the many scaling solutions for Ethereum that helps to lower transaction fees while also maintaining security. Arbitrum's portal has a lot of apps that you might recognize, like Chainlink, Loopring, Uniswap, and many others. Now really this is a concept for another video, but basically Arbitrum allows Ethereum transactions to settle outside of the main Ethereum blockchain, and then it records this data back into it. But anyways, so far over 3,200 of these unique RandomWalk NFTs have been minted, and it gets increasingly more expensive to mint with each new image produced. These images are minted using Ethereum, and every time a new NFT is minted, the price of the next mint increases by about 0.1% according to their website. As of right now, minting a new NFT costs about 0.043 Ethereum, and after about 5,000 NFTs, it would be about 0.24 Ethereum, and after 10,000 NFTs, it would bring it to about 60 Ethereum. According to one of their project members, after 17,000 mints, all Ethereum in existence would be in the smart contract. So it seems unlikely that this will continue beyond a few thousand more mints, but all this Ethereum used to mint gets collected into a pot, so to speak. When a new mint is created, the clock on their website resets to 30 days, and if the countdown reaches 0 before another NFT is minted, then 50% of the accumulated pot goes into the address of the last person who minted one. So for example, if there was 100 Ethereum in the pot and no new mints for 30 days, the most recent minter would get 50 Ethereum and the other 50 Ethereum would be left in the pot. And then if another person minted an NFT followed by another 30 days of no minting, this new person would receive 50% of the remaining 50 Ethereum, so that would be 25, and so on. As of right now, the pot amount that is built up from minting these NFTs is sitting right around 31 Ethereum, since this 15.5 number is the value of the 50% payout. Hey Siri, how do I pronounce gamification?
Okay, I found this on the web.
Because of this unique gamification, this means competition may slow down as mints get more expensive, and the frequency of payouts will probably increase. I've been checking the timer daily for the last week or so, and the timer is consistently being reset only after just a few hours, which means people are still actively minting these NFTs pretty often. Eventually, this could possibly lead to an incredibly high return on your investment, because if a ton of NFTs are getting minted before the counter resets, then the pot just keeps getting bigger and bigger, until eventually 30 days pass with no new mints, and the last one to mint gets 50% of the reward that's built up. In theory, this system should increase the value of every minted NFT since they become increasingly expensive to mint, but this begs the question, how expensive is too expensive to mint another RandomWalk NFT? Well, as minting slows down, there would be a higher chance at a reward, but also much more expensive to buy in. If less people are buying in, then the eventual payout ratio will also be less until we reach a break-even point, after which buying in becomes more expensive than what's accumulated in the reward pot. The eventual payout ratio would... Okay. Hello?
Hey Caleb.
How'd you get my number?
Don't worry about that, just calling to say that no matter how often the withdrawals happen, the price to mint will always be cheaper than the reward. I'll send over my simulated calculations now.
Okay. So I actually got in contact with one of the creators, and I had him simulate hypothetical situations to show how the payout ratio changes based on the frequency of withdrawals. Apparently, even if a withdrawal happened every single mint, which is basically impossible, it would take about 20 cycles for the reward to be about the same as the mint price, but the reward ratio only gets closer to 1 and never actually reaches it or goes below it. This means that no matter what, the reward will always be more than the price to mint, even in the absolute worst case scenario. He also ran another simulation showing what happens to the reward ratio if a withdrawal happens every 10 mints, in which the ratio converges around the number 9.84, but this is still very unlikely to happen as there's been over 3,200 mints so far and 0 withdrawals. Now, if a withdrawal happened every 100 mints, the reward ratio converges around 85 times, and if a withdrawal happens every 1,000 mints, which is finally approaching something more realistic to what might actually happen, the reward ratio is still a whopping 364 from the 4th withdrawal onwards. I'm glad I was able to test these things out with this guy because this goes to prove that there's a very high likelihood the reward will always be hundreds of times higher than the minting price, and even if more withdrawals happen as more NFTs are minted, even then you're still looking at a massive return because there's such a small likelihood that the withdrawal would happen after every single mint. On top of that, he was so excited to share this information with me that he actually sent me some Ethereum so I could try minting one of these NFTs myself. Just takes a few minutes for it to generate, and here's the one I got. Check that out. My very first NFT. Let's give it a name real quick, put it up for sale, and boom. Now back to what I was talking about. This mechanism is a very interesting way to increase the scarcity of these NFTs as they grow in popularity, because eventually these NFTs will become too expensive for basically anybody to mint. It looks like we have a huge mathematical balancing act going on here between the price and the reward, which will be super interesting to watch play out. But it also shows what the ratio currently is on the website, which means if you minted one NFT right now for 0.043 Ethereum and nobody else minted for 30 days, you would receive 15.5 Ethereum, which is almost 357 times your money. This is an absolutely insane return on your investment, so I gotta play devil's advocate for just a second. Basically, by minting an NFT, you're betting that the Random Walk project gets low enough attention that you can walk away with a big reward, but also enough attention that the reward pot is worth chasing after. Now, because of this, I kind of have some mixed feelings about this project, and I just want to give a couple pros and cons and be as transparent as possible. Firstly, the artwork itself is super cool and unique, and each mint actually produces 2 pictures and 4 videos because there's a white and black background version for each image and pair of videos. These images are created by taking a randomly generated seed and using a Python script to take the direction of the image up, down, left, or right, while also modifying the values of red, blue, and green to get the changing colors. Now, this is probably why they called it the Random Walk NFT, which to me is a really cool concept and a unique way to generate a one-of-a-kind image. Now, honestly, this artwork kind of reminds me of like one of those fractal images or like an old world map for a video game like RuneScape, or even like the Minecraft map if you were to zoom out really far. You can also buy and sell these NFTs on their marketplace for absolutely no fees whatsoever. Now, on the flip side, there seems to be a very high risk here with minting and a very complex gambling strategy going on with this style of gamification. So if you buy into this just for fun, then by all means, play with your money how you see fit, but as an actual investment to make a quick buck, not so much. The NFTs themselves could be something to maybe invest in if you really believe in this project, but actually minting ones yourself probably isn't the best way to spend your Ethereum. Unless, of course, you have enough Ethereum to justify playing around with a small fraction of it and be okay with the high probability of losing it all if someone else mints right after you. Interestingly though, unlike other NFT projects out there, Random Walk is trying a different formula that doesn't focus on making profits off the mints, which is pretty cool to see. After doing a deep dive on all this, I'm actually really curious how this whole project will play out and how many NFTs will be minted before people deem it too expensive to continue, so I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this just to see what happens. I just wanted to make this video because I found the concepts behind this project really interesting, so if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link down in the description below, and if you found value in today's video, be sure to drop a big fat like down below as well, and subscribe for more weekly content just like this. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.